Recently, we were at a friend's cottage and we went out in their boats onto their lake. And though for those of you who know me well, I was not driving the boat, just so you can relax. So we went out in two boats in two different groups. Kathy and I in our boat, we went ahead to a meeting point, and we were waiting for the other boat to catch up with us, and it never arrived. So we waited for quite a while, and then we returned to the dock to find out what happened. Well, we found out the other group was in a rubber Zodiac. So that's a small boat with an outboard motor. And when they left the dock to follow us, they noticed that the boat was responding very sluggish. And it seemed to be sitting low in the water, and it just wasn't performing. And after a while, they started to notice that their feet were getting wet. Now, for those of you who are boaters, you would know that if your feet are getting wet, that is not a good sign. Well, they immediately realized that the boat was taking on water. So they looked behind themselves in their seats, and they realized there was a lot of water in the boat. So they started bailing and returned to the dock. Now you see, in a little boat with an outboard motor, the front of the boat is always higher than the back. So the water had been seeping in, but by the time it reached their feet, there was a lot of water in the boat. And then when the boat was examined, it was discovered that the drain hole, which is apparently in the bottom of every small rubber boat, wasn't plugged. So the water was gradually seeping in. And fortunately, they discovered it in time and came back to the dock. But the boat was struggling. And it made Kathy and I wonder, does that help us understand why we struggle, why people struggle? You see, we struggle with our thoughts, moods, attitudes, behaviors. And so why is it that we struggle as Christians so often? Well, is it that we have not plugged a hole in our spiritual defenses, and the darkness is seeping in and causing us to struggle? For example, if we have sinful habits that we've been ignoring, that is a significant hole in our spiritual defenses that Satan wants to take advantage of. But also, what about unforgiveness, grudges, negative thinking patterns that we've had for so long we just think it's part of our personality? These are access points, these are holes in our spiritual armor that Satan can seep in. And by the time we notice that this is happening, he's already engulfed us because he's been seeping in for so long through these unprotected holes that we haven't plugged. So, what's the answer? And the question I have for you today is, do you have holes in your spiritual armor? Are you taking on water? Are you gradually being influenced and sunk by creeping darkness that you just weren't aware of? Well, the good news is God is waiting right now to set you free. He's waiting to reveal to you where these holes are and to plug them and to bail you out. So, you need to ask God, where are the access points? Where are my vulnerabilities? Where are the holes in my spiritual armor that I haven't plugged? And then take rapid and decisive action. Repent, forgive, renounce, turn from your sin. Do whatever is necessary so you can close those holes and set yourself free with God's help. So to live a transformed life, you need to be free of Satan's creeping darkness. Plug those holes. Now I want to hear from you. How has God revealed to you the vulnerabilities that you had, and how did you plug them? Just leave your testimonies in the box below. And if this is your first visit here, you need to get my free self-assessment guide. And to do that, just subscribe to my free weekly email newsletter by filling out the subscription form, and you know where it is. It's always right there. And I'll talk to you again next week. But this week, ask God where the vulnerabilities are.